So here's an update on the Dodge Caliber I was working on, the transmission that was in limp mode. The reason why I'm showing you this, the TCM, that was the problem. The TCM had to be programmed to the transmission that I installed on the Dodge Caliber. Now what happened was I changed the transmission. I used a used transmission, installed it in the car, and the car was still in limp mode. Engine light was on. Transmission electronically wouldn't conform to the Dodge Caliber. So the problem was the TCM had to be programmed with the transmission, or to the transmission, or the transmission had to be programmed to the TCM. Now what I learned was through some research that if I would have took the TCM with that transmission that I bought used, I would have had no problem. I would have been able to put in the TCM with that transmission, and it would have ran fine. It would have conformed to the vehicle and to the ECU. The ECU didn't have to be reprogrammed, or ECM. It was this thing, the TCM, transmission control module, that had to be changed or programmed. And then the alterations that I did in my previous video with the wiring, with the 150 ohm resistor and the spacing of the transmission cooler, that seemed to work fine. Now I'm not positive about what's going to happen in the future with the ohm resistor on the line. So at your own risk, install that resistor to that wire. I might post another video in the future about that to see if anything arises, any problems arise from it. Now I'm not positive about what's going to happen, although it did help the transmission from heating up. It didn't heat up anymore after I did that. I believe the heating was probably due to over revving of the transmission being in limp mode and driving it around like that. But I decided to try it because I kept heating up at 60K. I couldn't get up to 100K. Now after my alterations of the wiring and the cooler, with the spacing of the cooler, it didn't heat up anymore after that. I was able to get up to 90 to 100K and drive around for a good distance, and it wouldn't heat up. So that seemed to work, but it still wouldn't go out of limp mode. And after getting this programmed to the transmission, it was fine and is running fine. So if you have that same problem I have, try what I did, or try something else. Try it without the resistor. Maybe don't do the resistor thing, and just get this programmed first, and maybe you'll be fine and it won't overheat anymore. I'm still not positive on what caused the first transmission to overheat. My observation was that it went into limp mode on an overheating during a hot day, and then the person drove it around until the transmission burned out. That's what I believe. But anyway, that's all the information I have on that, and hopefully you do well, and good luck with your transmission change. Again, that was a used transmission I had. Now if you get a new transmission, you're not going to be able to get the TCM with it. You'll have to get your TCM program to the new transmission. Mine was a used one, so if you can find a used one, make sure you get the TCM again. This box, it's under the dash. I have a video on it. Make sure you get it with that used transmission. It'll make things a lot easier. And that's all I have for now. If you have any questions, send me some questions, email, whatever. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.